Before we continue, take another look at abstract human art, not with your eyes, but with your feeling, because what you're about to understand is this: abstract art is not something you see once. It's something you discover, again and again. Let's go deeper. After the first rough sketches, the artist begins refining the idea, but not by adding detail, by removing it. This is the opposite of traditional art. Instead of building complexity, the artist searches for simplicity. They ask, which lines are essential? Which shapes carry emotion? What can be removed without losing meaning? This stage is about clarity. The composition slowly becomes cleaner, stronger, more intentional. One of the most important elements in abstract human art is flow. The human body is not static. It bends, it stretches, it moves. So abstract artists focus on movement, not anatomy. Lines are curved, forms are connected. The artwork begins to feel like it is in motion even though it is still. This creates life. Now here is something many people don't understand at first. Empty space is not empty. In abstract art, negative space is just as important as the subject. The space around the figure creates balance. Without negative space, the piece feels heavy. With it, the piece feels elegant. This is where minimalism becomes powerful. At this stage, the artwork starts becoming physical, especially if using plaster, wood, or mixed materials. Layers are added slowly. Some parts are raised, some parts stay flat. This creates contrast, and contrast creates visual interest. The viewer's eye begins to move across the artwork, exploring, discovering. Now think about this. The material itself tells a story. Wood feels natural and warm. Plaster feels soft and organic. Metal feels bold and modern. Canvas feels expressive and fluid. The artist is not just choosing a material. They are choosing a feeling. At this stage, the artist begins thinking about lighting, not just as something external, but as part of the artwork. Where will shadows fall? Which areas will catch light? How will the piece look in the morning, in the evening? This is where abstract art becomes interactive. It changes with time. Here's a powerful truth. The hardest part of abstract art is simplicity. Anyone can add more. Very few can remove. To stop at the right moment, that is mastery. Too much detail breaks harmony. Too little removes meaning. Balance is everything. Now let's talk about size. Abstract human wall art becomes even more powerful when it's large. Large-scale art creates presence. It fills space. It becomes a statement. But small pieces can also be powerful if placed correctly. Scale changes impact. Some abstract human artworks use color. Others use only neutral tones. Monochrome creates calm. Color creates emotion. The choice depends on the message. Soft beige and white create peace. Black and gold create luxury. Earth tones create connection to nature. Color is not decoration, it's communication. Abstract human wall art fits perfectly into modern spaces. Why? Because modern design is moving toward simplicity, clean lines, and an emotional atmosphere. Abstract art supports this. It does not clutter the space, it enhances it. Here's something interesting. When people look at abstract human art, they don't just look, they pause, they think, they feel. Some people see a person, some see movement, some see emotion. This personal interpretation makes the art powerful. Let's keep it real. Many beginners try to make abstract art too complicated. They add too many shapes, too many textures, too many ideas. But abstract art is not about adding more. It's about refining, simplifying, focusing. To create abstract human art, you must think differently. Not how do I draw this perfectly, but what does this feel like? What is essential? What can I remove? This shift changes everything. Abstract human art tells a story, but not in a direct way. Leave space. It allows the viewer to complete the story. This style is becoming more popular because people want less clutter, more meaning, and more emotion. Abstract human wall art provides all of this. Now you can see something important. Abstract human art is not random. It is intentional. Every line, every curve, every empty space has a purpose. And when all these elements What if you could capture a human story without showing a face? What if a single curve, a simple shape, or a textured surface could express emotion more powerfully than a realistic portrait? That is the idea behind modern abstract human wall art. It is not about perfect anatomy. It is not about detailed features. It is about feeling. It is about energy. It is about interpretation. In today's video, we're going deep into the world of abstract human wall art, explaining the full creative process in a simple way. Whether you are an artist, a designer, or just someone who loves modern decor, this video will completely change how you see art. The word muse traditionally means inspiration, often a human figure that inspires art. In classical art, the muse was painted in perfect detail, but modern art changed everything. Instead of copying reality, artists began to interpret it, taking the human form, simplifying it, transforming it, and expressing it in a new, abstract way. The human body becomes a language. A curve might represent emotion, a shape might represent movement, a texture might represent memory. When you look at a realistic portrait, you see exactly what is there. But with abstract human art, you feel more than you see, because your brain becomes part of the artwork. It starts asking, what does this shape mean? Is this a person? Is this emotion? Every artwork begins with an idea, but in abstract art, the idea is not visual, it's emotional. Instead of sketching a perfect body, the artist starts with loose, free lines, no pressure, no perfection, just movement. The artist begins removing details, as not necessary, fingers simplified, muscles reduced to flow. Now the artist starts defining the composition. Where is the figure placed? Is it centered? Is it flowing across the wall? Balance becomes important. Too much on one side feels heavy. Too little feels empty. The goal is harmony. Now comes a powerful decision. What material should be used? Each material creates a different feeling. Paint feels fluid. Wood feels warm. Plaster feels soft and sculptural. Metal feels strong and bold. When artists add layers, ridges, or carved surfaces, the artwork becomes more alive. You don't just see it, you almost feel it. When light hits the artwork, shadows appear. These shadows move during the day, so the artwork changes. Abstract human wall art is not just art. It changes the entire room. In a living room, it becomes a focal point. In a bedroom, it creates mood. In a workspace, it inspires creativity. Because it is abstract, it fits many styles. Abstract human wall art teaches us something important. You don't need to show everything to express something meaningful. Sometimes, a single line, a simple curve, or a quiet texture can say more than a perfect portrait. If you're enjoying this journey into abstract art, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. See you in part 2.